Doc Rivers kicked Ben Simmons out of practice.
Sure guy.
And then in the presser, Joel Embiid, and I quote, said, "At this point, I don't really care about that guy."
That's funny, man.
He said he's going to do what he wants to do. Then Embiid later on said, "Our job is not to babysit anybody."
Yo, Giannis is killing y'all.
I know. He's got like 15 and 8 right now, right?
Get out of here. Fantasy, let's go.
So,
Dumb nice,
yeah,
though. I don't know why he comes as a
Joel
surprise.
Embiid has called out Ben Simmons already, and The Athletic just posted a tweet from Ben Simmons, about Ben Simmons, that he is not mentally ready to go back to the 76ers right now. So what are your thoughts on this scenario?
Trade him.
This is becoming too much.
Trade him.
But what's his value, man?
Just trade him.
But what's his value?
What do they mean by he's not mentally ready to come back to practice?
He's probably not taking the drills.
Did you hear what happened, though?
Probably arguing with teammates.
So
he had his phone in his pocket.
No, not just that. So Doc asked him to do a defensive drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw. I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah,
he asked him to do a defensive drill.
Ben said
Ben
no.
on his bitch shit said no. And then Doc said, all right, then why don't you just get out of here?
Because you're not helping us.
So then Ben dropped the ball and walked out of practice.
So then it goes back to my point. Mentally, what do you mean by that? Like you're not mentally ready to come back to work?
I don't know.
You don't want to work anymore? Like
he's being a little kid.
Like what's going?
He doesn't want to play for them, bro.
But it's like you've caused your value to drop. This is you. You've done everything. You've made it a point to not communicate with your team. You've not played well in the playoffs. You decide to come back because you realize this isn't working. Rich Paul has put you in a bad situation, and you decided to listen to him. Okay, that's your manager.
He's
whatever. Agent, cool. You listen to him. Now you look stupid. Fine. You come back. Now you come back. You're not integrating with your teammates. The goal is still the same.
Yeah.
The goal is the same.
That's
Win a
fact.
championship. That's the goal in Philly. Win a championship. Yep. You have Embiid. You have Tobias Harris. You have Ben. You have Seth Curry. You have Doc Rivers. The goal is to win a championship. You come back. You haven't you've shown no lack of communicating with your teammates, no lack of even wanting to play. Now you're giving Doc Rivers attitude because he asked you to do a defensive drill, something you need some work on because you was looking real shaky.
Oh my
you need
God.
to get in there and do some drills.
There's one thing
and now you don't want to do the drills for what? Because you don't want to listen to a guy that's still your coach. He's still your boss at the end of the
He's
day.
trying to force his way out, bro.
Force your way out the right way. Go play hard or go at least just
play. We weren't
play.
saying that to Harden.
Harden at least played.
Yeah, he played, but he wasn't he came out of shape and he wasn't really.
But he played.
And he cost them a game in the fourth, too. With
and we
the
know
Rockets.
Harden. We know Harden's energy right now. We know who Harden is as a player. So and Harden, first of all, you can't even count the situation because Harden gave his life and his soul for that city, and he brought them to multiple WCFs.
But that's the thing. Philly doesn't want Ben Simmons back. Neither do the fans, and he doesn't want to be there either.
Yeah, but you have
to trade him at that point.
But the problem is you can't trade somebody you can't get nothing back for.
But what do you mean we can't get anything back?
There is nothing.
Nobody. All 30 NBA teams are not willing to take a chance. I mean,
you guys
are
offering
Simmons.
Kyrie, but here's the problem: Kyrie's not playing.
No, we're not. Forget Kyrie.
It's just like the offers aren't good enough. You have to still. You're a GM. When you're trading somebody, you have to get something back.
So realistically, you thought the LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon deal for Ben Simmons was a bad one.
First of all, that deal wasn't even fully on the table.
No, but I'm saying there was talks about that deal.
I would have done that. I would have done that.
There's still you can still get value from.
But I don't think you can do that now.
The deal was Brogdon and 2 firsts. Would you have done that?
No, I'm not doing that.
I heard LeVert just recently being brought up in the trade topics as well.
It's been talks, but there is no concrete trades. Right. So it's like you still want to win a championship. You want to get something back that warrants an equal value to where you can still win a championship.
But that's where he kind of has them. Like
I know what you're saying,
by their mercy.
But I think the Sixers have failed in this situation.
No, early on though.
Well, for one, I think they're still failing in this situation because for one, Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid came out and threw Simmons under the bus after Game 7.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I said early on. Yeah,
that was dumb.
That was
threw him under the bus.
But you know when Doc Rivers said he doesn't know if he can be a championship point guard, I heard that tape was kind of taken out of. It was kind of misconstrued. I heard the real one, and he did not say anything about that. No, he just said I don't know.
He said I don't know.
Yeah, but that you have to. I'll send you it later. That they completely misconstrued what he was saying. That's what the media does, though. He did not just flat out say that, though.
What I'm saying is that Philly, Daryl Morey. Bro, his value is shot down already. Like they're still trying to get so much. They're trying to get the same value that you would get for a superstar.
Yep. He's not a superstar,
and that's Philly's problem. That's Daryl Morey's problem right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Is that you got to just get what you can get now because Ben doesn't want to play, and you're making his situation worse by dragging it on. But I will say this: they are in complete control of this situation. because Ben Simmons signed a contract. He's under contract for 3 more years. And Philly can just tell Ben Simmons, look, you have 2 options. You either sit out and we find the shit out of you until you're broke. Or 2, you play hard until your trade value is good enough until we could trade you for something that we feel comfortable getting you back for. Those are the 2 options. And Philly, they can do that to him. And if Simmons
just can't be stingy with the options he's
and
getting.
if Simmons, but that's what he's been.
Yep.
And if Simmons doesn't comply, okay, you want to just not show up and not play hard? Okay, now we're just going to fine you and suspend you and just ruin your reputation. Ben Simmons right now is making a grave mistake because he has to just thug through it. Like, he has to just thug it out. It is
Young
what
thug,
it is.
bro.
You know, everywhere right now across the country, there are people that are working jobs that they hate, with coworkers that they don't like, with bosses that they don't like.
I hate my job.
Well, thank you for,
He's
airing
being
grievances
honest.
on
He's
air.
being honest. I respect
His
that.
boss is going to look at
okay.
that.
They know I hate that job. I walk in every day and I say I hate this place.
So people work in jobs like that every day. And now Ben Simmons is getting a taste of what it feels like to be a regular person, because his entire life he's been a pampered basketball star. So now he's getting the chance to know what it feels like to be a regular person, and he's quitting. He's saying, no, I'm too good for this. But he noticed in hindsight he's not, because he's going to get fined and he can't afford to lose that money. So he should just suck it up and play your best and play until your trade value is good enough, because right now he's ruining his pockets. He's messing up his pockets. He's messing up his reputation. And on top of that, he's messing up the league, because when the next CBA agreement is talked upon and there's negotiations, the owners are going to use the situation to gain more control over players. And players have worked so hard to make this a players league to have player empowerment, and Ben Simmons with this situation can tear a lot of that work down. So he's not looking out for himself. He's not looking out for people around him. He's not looking around for the Sixers. And that's why I feel okay with Embiid saying, I don't care about that guy.
Too.
Because, how are you going to just come here and act like so nonchalant? Like, let's be adults. Let's be adults about this.
Still got a job
so
to do.
Ben Simmons,
I'd play hard.
it's his job, and he has to just have a change of perspective. You are somebody that plays in the NBA that's making over $20 million a year playing basketball, a game for a living. Who cares about the fans? Who cares about your teammates? Just go out and play basketball, bro. It's not that big of a deal. It's his job. I'm all for mental health, and if he's going through something that's drastic, that I feel like is serious, then I give him the benefit of the doubt. But this all feels like it's coming just because he wants to get one up on Philly, and he wants to basically force his way out without taking any accountability for what he's done.
All anybody wants to do is see Ben Simmons play basketball, because all we really care about is seeing him improve on the court, which is fair. I mean, you don't have to like him or anything. It's what
His game's so
No, he's good for the league.
Well,
though.
what the regular NBA fan wants to see is whether or not Ben Simmons is going to rewrite what he did in the playoffs. That's all he should be focusing on, truthfully, is whether or not he's going to improve from last season to this season. And we're not talking about his skills at all. We're talking about his off-the-court antics right now. That's the issue. Come on, bro. You got to speak with your hands. You got to be emphatic.
You were shaking last
Was
one.
I?
Yeah.
Maybe I got something wrong with me. But you look at what Ben Simmons has been doing recently, it's not something that any team should really support. When Kyrie's sitting out right now, everyone's giving him hell. Of course they're going to continue to keep that same energy towards Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is being a child, as opposed to Kyrie not taking the vaccine, where one can be handled more easily with Ben just going to practice, because exactly
Going to work.
both of them to a degree, but obviously Kyrie's situation's way more different than Ben's is, where Ben solely isn't reporting to the team because he doesn't want to, because he feels like the Sixers have wronged him, even though they've already committed to him long term and given him this unbelievable amount of money. So the disconnect with me and Simmons right now is he's not caring so much about his game as much as he's caring about himself, and that's my problem right now.
Yeah.
What do you think, JC?
With the Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
What was the question again? My fault.
What do you just think about the situation?
I mean, obviously the situation, it looks bad on Ben Simmons' part. I mean, I agree with you guys. You have a contract to abide by. They gave you your money. They gave you your money when the biggest question of your game was to develop a jump shot, and they still gave you your money even when that requirement wasn't even met. So I think it does look bad on Ben Simmons just because of the fact that you're the one who stunk up the bed in the playoffs last year against Atlanta. You're the one who turned down the layup. You're the one who still comes in with no jumper. You're the one who's regressed statistically since your rookie, your second year. You're the one who's regressed statistically. So I mean, it doesn't look good on his part. I mean, when you have a head coach who's a championship head coach, I mean, we may agree that he's a little overrated in terms of like his success, but he is a championship head coach. He has coached championship teams. When you have a head coach telling you what to do, and you're not doing it, it just sets a bad precedent. Like it just sets a bad example for the team in the locker room and everything. So I mean, I'm fine with Joel Embiid coming out and blasting him because I feel like it had to be done. I mean, you think about it. You're Joel Embiid. You want to win a ring. You want to win a chip. You want somebody that's going to be all in. Ben Simmons right now is not all in. Whether it's all his fault may not be the case, but he definitely has some fault to it. So I don't really blame I don't really blame Joel Embiid for going all out and telling it how it is or whatever. But then again, Ben Simmons, it's like you're contradicting yourself. You don't want to be there. You say, like, he's really said behind the scenes he wants to do everything in his power to get out of there, but then you're not suiting up and raising your trade value to have your request met. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to play. I mean, the last memory from you is turning on that layup. The last memory from you is having a bad series against Atlanta, in which you were a team that was supposed to win that series. Philly was the number 1 seed in the East. They were supposed to win that series. It was supposed to be them in the ECF. But because Ben Simmons laid an egg, didn't play well, it didn't transpire. So this whole situation, it looks bad on Ben Simmons. I understand he wants to get out of there. I understand that, he feels like he no longer can play in front of those fans, and I feel like the fans don't want him back. So I feel like Ben Simmons, like, if I was like, I mean, obviously I'm not him, but if I was in your situation, man, you got to play, you got to up your trade value, because in reality, you're the one who hindered your trade value with your performances in the playoffs. Not just this year. Look in the past and the other playoff series that he's played. He has not really played well in the playoffs at all. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, he's got to be a man. He's got to play until the trade deadline, and play as hard as you can, up your trade value. And I'm pretty sure your requirement to get traded will be met if you're playing well.
I mean, at this point, the best they can get from is Malik Beasley.
I'll take it.
Too shy.
No, he's not.
That's not bad, though.
No, he's not.
That's not bad.
That's terrible.
What if he goes back to jail?
You got to stop.
Bro,
He's not
that's
going.
always the big question.
He's not going to jail, bro.
Don't say he's not going
exactly,
again. That's what
exactly.
You say.
He's not going again.
Looks bad, though.
Malik Beasley already said I'm a free man.
Yeah.
I learned from my mistakes.
Sure you did.
I think he did.
KCP was playing with an ankle monitor. Remember that?
Legend.
Yo.
He's a legend for that.